From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'm MTN's Heaven Van here today at Gallatin County Regional Park in Bozeman to talk about what some would say are some of the most unenforced laws in the city, and those are animals on leash laws.
We're gearing up for the vice presidential debate. I'm Jared Hill inside the CBS Broadcast Center with a look at the rules as the running mates prepare for their first head-to-head.
I'm Allie Kaiser here at the Fort Harrison VA Medical Center to see how it's exceeded its goal of housing homeless veterans.
It is 6 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Jay McDonald and Matt Elwell with you bright and early on this October 1st. And we can now say we are looking over the nicest city.
That's right. We had that story.
City.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. Reader's Digest if you missed that story. John Amy did great coverage
you
on
can
it.
catch that on the website.
Definitely.
Good story. A little chilly this morning in the nicest city. Definitely dealing with temperatures below freezing in several locations in western Montana. 28 in Butte. 18 this morning in West Yellowstone. Right now, Belgrade back up to 35. I would not be shocked to see a little frost out there in a few areas, but the temperatures overall should be pleasant for the afternoon. A pretty quick warm up expected for the area as you go through the day today. Our temperature should be into the mid to upper 70s, mostly sunny, but a little breezy through the afternoon. I'm going to look at the long-term look at how things are expected to change for the next few days in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Now, off-leash dogs in Bozeman are becoming a community issue despite laws in place to prevent it. MTN's Heaven Van is hearing from a local resident who says she's had one too many run-ins with off-leash dogs.
The city of Bozeman has leash laws in place to protect owners, their pets, and the environment. But some are saying that these are some of the most unenforced laws in the city, leading to a variety of different consequences for owners and their pets.
I've actually had 2 experiences off leash. I thought it was on a leash. It looked to be on a leash. So I thought we were safe walking by. The thing charged us.
Jen Poor lives in Bozeman. She's frustrated about what she says are lax leash laws after being charged by multiple off-leash dogs in her neighborhood.
And that was when I got this. This is pepper spray. And I hope I don't have to use it, but I have to have defense, you know, for my dog.
According to the city of Bozeman, leashes are required in all public spaces, except for parks specifically labeled as off-leash. But Jen says this rule is often overlooked.
From what I've seen, people feel that they are justified. They have 100% of control of their dog, so they can let it go off-leash wherever they want.
The city of Bozeman states on their website that sticking to designated off-leash areas are important because they prevent off-leash dogs from infringing on the rights of other community residents and park users, such as joggers, small children, and those who may be fearful of dogs.
They say the police aren't enforcing the leash law, and that's another problem.
The animal control website claims they utilize education and problem solving to address animal complaints, though citations can be given if need be.
Leash laws are already the law. So let's adhere to the law. And if you want to take your dog off leash, we have so many places to go.
Bozeman has 9 off-leash locations. You can find them on our website. In Bozeman, Heaven Van, MTN News.
And in just a few hours, it's the 2024 vice presidential nominees' turn to take the debate stage, with just 35 days to go until Election Day. CBS News is hosting the 90-minute showdown from New York, and our Jared Hill is there with more on how the candidates have been preparing for that big night.
The stage is set in New York for the vice presidential nominees to have their first head-to-head. The debate between Democrat Tim Walz and Republican J.D. Vance Also likely the final debate between their campaigns before Election Day.
It's kind of the closing argument in a way.
Vance touched down in New York Monday. He's been holding mock debates with GOP Congressman Tom Emmer standing in as fellow Minnesotan Walz.
I think J.D. Vance is going to be great. He's going to concentrate on the issues that matter most.
Walz told reporters he's looking forward to tonight while in Michigan Monday. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg has stood in for Vance in his debate preps. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar is Walz's longtime colleague.
I think that his strategy will be to continue to reach out to the American people so they know who he is.
Tonight's debate comes on the heels of new CBS News polling showing how Americans are feeling about the VP candidates. A majority of registered voters don't think either is qualified to become president, but enthusiasm for Walz is higher at 65% compared to 49% for Vance. When you break it down by party, a larger swath of Democrats believe Walz makes their ticket better, while just over half of Republicans feel the same about Vance. Registered voters say they're mostly interested in hearing the candidates discuss the economy, immigration, abortion, and other issues tonight, instead of attacking each other. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Live coverage of the vice presidential debate, moderated by Norah O'Donnell and Margaret Brennan, starts tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern on CBS. CBS News 24/7 and streaming is on Paramount Plus as well. Now, a little bit closer to home, the VA recently announced it has exceeded its goal for housing veterans in the year 2024 for the fiscal year. And more than 96% of those veterans housed have not returned to homelessness. So how does the Montana VA compare? Well, MTN's Allie Kaiser spoke with those who work with Montana veterans to get them housing.
Roughly 30 veterans live here at the Fort Harrison VA Medical Center as part of a rehabilitation program that exceeded its goal of getting homeless veterans housed.
Having that shelter, that place to be able to be safe in, allows you to be able to get your other needs met as well. So next comes food security and transportation and jobs and education. I cannot complete any of those things if I don't have some place to lay my head down at night.
The Montana VA healthcare system had the goal of housing 230 veterans in the 2024 fiscal year, but they reached 249. The houses you see here are home to some of the veterans in Helena, but there are other locations throughout the state, like the Victory House in Missoula. The Montana VA Homeless and Vocational Rehabilitation Program also provides vouchers to veterans, assisting them with paying rent.
It's very expensive, and not just in the cities like Missoula or Kalispell or Bozeman, the places people think about. Even in the outlying neighborhoods and towns, those have gone, much more expensive. Housing availability is much lower. It's a real big problem.
The program is built with the housing first approach in mind. First, providing housing, and then connecting veterans with services like healthcare, job training, legal and educational services.
Many of these individuals are coming right out of service, and where their housing was part of their job essentially, and now they're just out here kind of going, well, what's next? How do I manage all this?
The VA Rocky Mountain Network also recently announced it housed over 2,000 veterans in 5 states this fiscal year, and more than 97% of housed veterans have not returned to homelessness.
We've had several veterans over the time that I've been working with VA that have been able to purchase their own houses by just getting them attached with either VBA for Service Connect, employment, anything that helps them to move forward in life rather than to be stagnant in life.
In Helena, I'm Allie Kaiser, MTN News.
And as the weather turns colder and more time passes by, the search for the missing hiker in Yellowstone National Park is shifting to a recovery effort. That, according to the family. The park says they are still asking for help finding 22-year-old Austin King after he went missing in the Eagle Peak area in the southeast corner of the park. King, who was a park employee, has not been heard from since Tuesday, September 17th. Yellowstone officials say they still have nearly 90 people on the search from the ground and from the air. And a Kalispell area soccer player has been discharged from the hospital after he was struck by lightning during practice on August 19th. An update on the family's GoFundMe page said, quote, Mason has been discharged from the hospital and will now be completing outpatient therapy. Our family would like to thank everyone for all of the prayers and supports during this difficult time. Mason spent several weeks in the ICU during his recovery. 2 others were hurt during the storm. Hundreds of people have supported a GoFundMe page to help cover Mason's medical expenses, with more than $72,000 raised as of this week. And the bells at the Cathedral of the St. Helena have been silent for nearly 3 months as crews continue to work to repair masonry and tile on the north limestone spire of the historic building. MTN's Eric Jocham takes us up the scaffolding around the north spire to see the work being done to preserve this landmark.
The Durable Restoration Company is nearing completion of a nearly 2-year project that has meant having to wrap the spires of the Cathedral of St. Helena in this scaffolding that is more than 200 feet tall.
Everything above the lantern is freestanding on beams that are coming through the bell tower.
High above the ground, workers in hard hats and bright vests are meticulously cleaning and repairing the century-old landmark.
Our backs are kind of against the wall, against the weather, so it's a real challenge. There's a lot of work to do to try to get this wrapped up before the winter.
The Durable Restoration Company is replacing old and damaged grout, removing years of buildup from birds and pollution, and replacing lost or damaged tiles.
So they're all reclaimed, so we have kind of the broken ones. So we're using as many as we can.
Work was completed on the south spire in 2023. This year they're completing the north spire, the spire that houses the cathedral bells.
And so we had to kind of modify and re-engineer the beams because the bells.
Chase Collins took me up on the scaffolding to show me some of the work being completed, including how workers are color matching the masonry repairs and adding features that will help protect the cathedral into the next century.
Right, so the beads of water will now come down and hit that drip edge and drop and continue to fall, rather than kind of keep coming back here and potentially sitting for periods of time and kind of staining that. So
their work preserves the work of the craftsmen who built this building that is important not just to the Helena community, but to people's faith.
We get to take these extraordinary structures, and they've had some degradation through, many years, and we can kind of come in and our craftsmen can, start to restore and really preserve that rich history of the building to let it last for another 100, 200 years.
The Durable Restoration Company aims to have the project completed by mid-October. Reporting in Helena, Eric Jocham, MTN News.
Wow, just right around the corner, man.
Yeah, they're working hard, and I love those kind of projects.
Oh, it's just beautiful. Yeah, I'm sure people over in Helena will be eager to hear those bells once again. Now, before we head into a break, I have been eager to share this video. We are heading up in the sky via drone over the coast of Washington. What you're seeing right now, an orca and her little calf. Now, drones and researchers, they kind of keep an eye out for these orcapods because it's simply an endangered species. And so they're really keeping track on the population growth, breeding, behavioral patterns, and just trying to keep it as healthy as possible.
This is really cool, watching mom teach the baby what's what in the water.
Well, and they are such a familial species. I mean, family is such a big part of their DNA and what they do. So it's really just a fantastic sight, a perspective
that a bucket list item for a lot of folks.
It is just incredible, and what a beautiful place to see them too, out in their natural habitat, out in the wild off the coast of Washington State. So pretty special thing to see. Definitely not something you see every day.
No.
All right, we're going to take a short break here on Montana This Morning. When we come back, Matt's going to have a look at that forecast, top stories headed your way, and the future of mining in Montana. Well, it hangs in the balance for one community. We're going to delve into that coming up in just a little bit.